I was having a back and forth with someone about the Constitution, and they were saying how the Constitution allows us to move freely. And I pushed back on that, and I said, no, the Constitution doesn't have anything to do with me being allowed to go out, allowed, quote unquote, to go outside and get sun. It's my God given right. And I firmly believe that. However, however, there are people who believe they're in a place of power in their mind that want to try to restrict you from doing that. And I thought about it and I said to myself, you know, if this Constitution, this piece of paper, weren't in existence, what would be happening right now? And I guess I'm the kind of person who believes in live and let live. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you have to suffer the consequences or repercussions of your actions. But this is not a society filled with fair-minded people that, you know, believe, yeah, you have a right to have a gun. I may not like guns, but that doesn't mean that I don't think you shouldn't own one. I think you should own one if you want one. But, you know, do I think you should have freedom of speech? Of course. I've had things said to me. I've been called the N-word and raised and all kind of awful things. Now, should those people be screaming the N-word at me as a child walking home from school? No. Is it right? No. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's their constitutional right. It's just a mean-spirited person. But what I will say is they did it, and I didn't do anything about it. I just went on home and minded my business. I talked to my dad about it, and he said, baby, as my father always does, that's just a fraction of society. That was the gist of it. And I just went on with life. I never forgot it. You know, I never forgot it, and I just thought, But what my dad said made sense. I guess my point in all of this is that, yeah, that Constitution is valuable right now because you definitely have people who want to take your God, what I still firmly believe is your God-given right. But if people had the presence of mind, the forefathers had the presence of mind to sit down and pen this document saying that the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the amendments giving us these rights, they knew something. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need it, but we're in no way in a perfect world. We're nowhere near a perfect world. We have people that don't want you to have that want to exercise power over you. So yes, that Constitution is a godsend. That Constitution is a godsend. And even though, and I keep repeating myself, but it to me needs to be said a few times. We should be allowed to go freely and do what we want. We should be allowed to, you know, interact with the people that we choose to interact with. We should be allowed to own a weapon to protect our home. All of those things should be allowed. However, there are people that don't want you to do that. I'm that person that doesn't care if you do it, but I'm probably going to start leaning more towards, you know, supporting that. And I didn't support it or not support it. I just was indifferent about it. But I tell you what, if I was shopping in a grocery store and somebody came in with a gun talking about give me your money, and somebody else defended me and took care of that person, and they had a gun and they defended me, then good. I'm grateful, because you're going to have those weapons in the hands of really bad people. And then how do you defend yourself? And you can say, well, I don't put myself in danger's way, but you may not have thought about danger at all when you went to the grocery store. It came to you. I have never experienced that, and God forbid I never will. And I don't think that I will. But my point in all of this is that people will experience that. People do have the right to assemble. People do have the right to speak, and people definitely have the right to go outside. I don't know if that, I don't study the Constitution, so I don't know. I don't know if that's in there, that, the Constitution tells you that you have the right to go outside. I don't know. Is that the Fifth Amendment? I don't know. Is that open for interpretation? Because to me, it's ludicrous. However, you have people in places, in positions of quote unquote power. They're exercising their power over you and telling you that you don't have that right. And that's a scary place to be. So if this COVID-19 flu has taught you anything, it should be exposing to you the people that want to do you the most harm. Because at the end of the day, keeping people locked in their home and afraid, many people are afraid of this flu. And so they think going outside and putting a mask on is going to protect them. I mean, is that going to protect them from getting hit by a car? Is that mask going to protect them from being shot by some random person who's angry about being locked up and having lost their job? Is that mask going to protect that person who is depressed and goes home and doesn't want to live anymore because this has taken their job and their livelihood away from them? Is that mask going to protect them from that? So at the end of the day, you need to look at the people who are governing, who you have put in a place of power to govern your life. You need to look at that long and hard, and you need to say, not only would I not want that person to be reelected, I'm going to look at their party and see if, I don't know, are they a Democrat? Is this a Democrat state where they're willing to do that? Are Republicans doing that? Those that are governing over their states? I don't know. I'm not watching it close enough, so I don't know. But what I do know is that people need to wake up and start paying attention to their rights and start paying attention to the people that are exercising unnecessary, draconian, horrible, overly zealous powers. They're taking it to the nth degree, and you are the guinea pig.